Good evening, everybody. Before I start, I'd like to thank the League of Women Voters and the Daly City Colma Chamber of Commerce. I'm Rebecca Delacruz, and I'm running for City Clerk. The City Clerk is a direct link between residents and City Hall, someone you go for service information. City Clerk is also an archivist and holds the city official seal, records management, and also becomes the election officer. All of these are important duties of the City Clerk, but most important is serving the people. I'm a can-do mother, as I've always volunteered in schools. I've been a parent board advisor at Reardon, fundraiser for schools, and was a caregiver in an elderly parent. I hold a BA in economics and have 20 extensive years of administrative experience in the private sector. I hold a BA in economics, and having worked in the City Clerk's office for the past years, I have used that. I'll take the City Clerk's office with responsibilities and experience. When elected, I can also be a certified City Clerk, just like the incumbent, and paid by the city. I'm trilingual. I speak English, Tagalog, and Spanish, which allows me to serve our diverse community. My goals are to restore professionalism in the City Clerk's office, which once was known for, improve services to the citizens, young and old, return services to the local level, to have an open door. Those goals are to serve Daly City residents and everyone. Thank you.
That was Rebecca Delacruz Ayson. Now we will hear from Annette Hipona.
Thank you. Good evening. I'm your elected Daly City Clerk, Annette Hipona. It has been a great honor to serve you for the last 4 years. I greatly appreciate the overwhelming support you gave me in the last election, and I hope to have your continued support in this election. I want to take this opportunity to thank my staff in the City Clerk's office. We work as a team. I would like to formally thank my 2 deputy city clerks and my temporary office assistant and opponent in this race, Rebecca Ayson. I appreciate their professional and efficient work and their dedicated public service. The previous city clerk had 25% more staff and a 25% larger budget to do the same job. It would not be possible for the current city clerk's office to do more with less while bringing in more revenue and providing greater service to the public without the diligent and efficient efforts of the entire staff of the city clerk's office. I want to thank the League of Women Voters and the Chamber of Commerce for sponsoring this forum. I am a firm believer that an informed electorate is the bedrock of a strong democracy, and I look forward to an informative evening. I know that most voters want to know about a candidate's life, their experience, and what they bring to this office. I grew up in the Skyline Plaza neighborhood, and graduated from Westmore High School and Skyline College. My brother owns Masters Auto Body on Mission Street, and at any time you may see the whole family working there at the shop. 32 years ago, I married Alfonso Hipona. We live in original Daly City next to Jefferson High School with our 3 children. We are a union household. Alfonso has worked many years as a lead supervisor at Westlake Apartments. I'm a first-generation American. As a child, I was teased about my parents' accent, so I am sensitive to the issues of recent immigrants. My family has a very diverse cultural heritage. We are German, Filipino, and Mexican and American. Voters want to know what skills and experience I bring to this job. I have 4 years of your experience as your elected Daly City Clerk and 14 years of business management experience. I am the first and only city clerk to earn professional certification from the International Municipal Institute of Clerks. I have extensive leadership experience as member and president of Jefferson Elementary School Board, as president of my neighborhood association, and a member of the Democratic Club, and of course 4 years as your elected city clerk. I am experienced, professionally trained, and certified with proven leadership skills and with a strong desire to continue to serve you, the people of Daly City. I'm your elected City Clerk, Annette Hipona. Together, we can make democracy work.
Thank you. That was Annette Hipona. Now we come to the question and answer portion of our forum. Like I said, all questions will be asked of both candidates. Let's start with this one. Please describe the job of the City Clerk. And we'll start with Rebecca.
Okay, the job of the city clerk, just as I mentioned earlier, is they're the archivist. We take care of all the records, the contracts that we have in the city. We are also the official seal custodian, and we also become the elections officer. The city clerk becomes the elections officer. And then we also have the passport now. The passport, the U.S. passport, we became the acceptance passport agency, wherein the city clerk becomes a passport manager or acceptance manager.
Thank you. Ms. Hipona?
Could you repeat the question?
Could you describe the job of the City Clerk?
The city clerk's position does not make policy. It is administrative and clerical. The duties of the city clerk are to accurately record, certify, and preserve legislative decisions and official city records. 2, to conduct elections. 3, to provide access to public records. 4, to give required public notice. 5, to be custodian of the city seal, attest to subpoenas and sign bonds. 6, to certify receipt of documents for the city such as petitions, claims against the city, and sealed bids. To administer oaths and has authority to appoint deputy city clerks. Additionally, all those in the city clerk's office prepare the council chamber before meetings, assist with passport and utility exemption applications, and answer main city hall telephone calls.
Thank you. Our next question. Tell me what the clerk does to run elections. And this time we'll start with Ms. Hipona. So what's the city clerk's role in elections?
The city clerk meets with each candidate or proponent of a referendum, recall, or initiative and explains the election process. He or she provides candidates and proponents with written explanation of campaign rules and regulations, accepts petitions, receives required conflict of interest 700 forms, which are campaign finance form, and campaign finance forms. We certify candidate and proponent statements for the voter's pamphlet, administer the oath, make public campaign documents available for public review, and works with County Office of Elections and the Fair Political Practices Commission. The city clerk maintains a secure ballot box at City Hall and even provides voter registration forms to the public with the help of you, and after the election presents the certified election results.
Thank you. Ms. Ayson?
Okay. The city clerk, as an elections officer, the way I've seen it, because I don't do that, it's the city clerk is the one that does this. But based from what I see, the city clerks are, what she does is that she gives when somebody pulls the campaign packet, she gives it to the candidate, and then she explains to what is needed. She gives the forms, that has to be submitted. Also, as an election officer, she sees to it that the candidates can report to her for whatever complaints they have, and she has to take care of that. So that's how I know.
Okay. Our next question. What does it mean to be a certified city clerk? And we'll start with Ms. Ayson.
A certified city clerk is basically an enhanced job an enhanced job of the city clerk. I believe you have to go for education, further education, to become a certified city clerk. What else? You have to have at least have 5 core in-depth educations about the city clerk services. That's how I know what it's.
Ms. Hipona.
Thank you. The certification that I happen to receive comes from the Municipal Clerks Association. That is, it's an institute that's run nationally, internationally, and through California. So I was able to attend classes for the last 3 years that would enhance the knowledge that I had already as a board member, school board member, and make it so that I was able to put all the pieces together. For example, they explained in a classroom setting public notices, election law, even how municipal codes are put together. It's a very interesting and intricate job that we do, and it has definitely helped me to better understand what it is that I need to do as a city clerk.
Thank you. Our next question. In these tough financial times, explain the budget cuts in 4 years that you have had to work with, and what would you recommend to cut costs in the next 4 years? And this time we'll start with Ms. Hipona.
All right. The city budget is nearly $90 million, and the city clerk's office is about $500,000. The previous city clerk spent 25% more of your tax dollars doing the same job that we are currently doing, so there have been substantial cuts. When the city fully implements its efforts to be more green and process less paper, and the city clerk's office will be able to function with 1 less employee for an additional financial savings. I recommend returning the supervision of the clerk support staff to the city clerk to improve efficiency by allowing a more immediate response to problems and streamlining of procedures. I believe that maintaining our service to the public is a higher priority than maintaining a higher administrator salaries.
Thank you. Ms. Ayson? The question was about financial cuts in the office and how you would work around that and what cuts you might foresee in the next 4 years.
Since we're in financial times right now, since the city has already, they have already deducted, we had furloughs and we have deducted salaries and all that. And we should respect that, because if you look around, everyone are going in financial tough times. So what we could do is just be more strict and careful in the expenses of the office. You know, the supplies that we have to just be more careful in. To me, I believe it's if you're careful with the expense in the office, it will be a big savings. So those are for the office of the city clerks, those are the ones that I think that I could, because of the tough financial times, those are the ones that I could be very strict in spending.
Okay. Our next question concerns leadership. Being city clerk requires leadership. How would you be a good leader? And this time we'll start with Ms. Ayson.
To be a good leader is you have to show it. You have to be professional, and you have to show examples that you're a leader, that you're on top of it. If you allow the negativities in your office and you're not doing anything about it, then you are not a leader. That's why I say I want to bring back professionalism in the office. So to me, leadership is you have to show it. You have to prove that you're respectful, and that even though there are other people that are telling you to do certain negative stuff, you have to decide that you cannot bring that in the office. You have to show that you're on top of it. Because too much unprofessionalism is not good.
Thank you, Ms. Hipona.
Could you repeat the question, please?
Yes, the question was about leadership, and how would you provide leadership in the city clerk's office?
I have been honored to serve our community in many leadership roles. For 8 years as president of my neighborhood association, as elected Jefferson Elementary School Board member, and board president responsible for 15 schools. I serve as your elected representative to the County Democratic Party, where I served on their executive board. I was chosen as California Assembly Woman of the Year by now State Senator Leland Yee, and was honored to be part of the California Remarkable Woman exhibit at the state capitol for my leadership and service to my community. I was presented the Citizen Warrior Award for my leadership in the local and statewide efforts to save our homes and businesses from eminent domain. I have brought my leadership skills and experience to my job as city clerk.
Thank you. The next question. Do you support the city clerk remaining an elected position, or would you support allowing the city manager to hire a city clerk? Please explain. And this time we'll start with Ms. Hipona.
I absolutely support the city clerk remaining an elected position that is independent from intimidation and coercion from the city council and the city manager. If the city clerk is an employee who depends on the goodwill of the city manager to keep his or her job, how willing will that clerk be to fight to defend our right to public information, especially if that information is something the council would rather keep hidden? An elected city clerk is hired and fired only by you, the voters, and this gives the clerk the courage to do what the people want, and be that independent voice at City Hall. My lifelong belief is open, transparent government, and the people's right to know is the main reason that I am running for this re-election.
Thank you. Ms. Ayson, your thoughts on whether or not the city clerk should remain an elected position?
Based on the tough financial times we have, I would say that the city clerk should just be, should not be an elected position, because you spend so much money for election of, for doing this as an election. Basically, the city clerk's job is administrative, and a lot of it is you have to coordinate with the council and the city manager. So to me, it's more that I'd rather have it just like it will not be run as an election.
Thank you. Because it is getting late, this will be our last question. How would you define transparency in government? And this time we'll start with Ms. Ayson.
Oh, transparency.
How would you define transparency?
Okay. To me, transparency is more information, and more information gives more power. But to me, transparency, if it's abused, then it's not good. Abused in a sense when you start getting personal records, and then you pass it around with malice. To me, that's not transparency. Transparency should be protected. So that's my take on transparency.
Okay, and Ms. Hipona, your definition of transparency.
Everybody wants to know what is going on in our government. In order for government to run efficiently for the people, it needs to have transparency. It's not by any accident that we have the Public Records Act for us to know what's going on in our government. So I support the right to transparency, whether it's what's going to be built across the street or what President Obama is doing in Afghanistan. We all deserve the right to know. We are a transparent sort of government. We need to stay that way. I fully support it.
Thank you. These have been the two candidates for Daly City Clerk. Now each candidate will give a 2-minute closing statement, and we will begin with Annette Hipona. Ms. Hipona?
I believe candidates that are endorsed by the entire City Council and their friends have a real problem with being independent, especially when that same candidate will be beholden to the City Council for their job. Unlike my opponent, I did not seek a page full of endorsements, but rather I went to a few people who know me well and share my commitment to independent and open government. I'm proud to be endorsed by longtime leaders at our state, county, and local levels. State Senator Leland Yee, retired council member Judith Christensen, County Supervisor Dave Pine, County Harbor Commissioner Robert Bernardo, and the Democratic Party. I would like to also acknowledge my mentor and friend, Daly City Clerk, the late Helen Flowerday, who encouraged me to run, endorsed me, and generously shared with me her knowledge and insight. I have a proven track record of independence from the City Council and a commitment to serving you, the people of Daly City. I am here to protect your rights to all public information. I am here to lead a team that efficiently and professionally performs all the tasks in the clerk's office while spending less of your tax dollars and doing it all with a warm and welcoming smile. I am still here even after the council cut my salary by more than half and what the grand jury called an act of political reprisal. I doubt that very many would still be on the job serving the community after such a huge salary cut. That's commitment. I am the Daly City's first professionally certified city clerk. I am experienced with proven leadership and a strong desire to continue to serve you, the people of Daly City. I'm your elected City Clerk, Annette Hipona. Together we can make democracy work.
Thank you. That was Annette Hipona. Now we'll hear from Rebecca Delacruz Ayson.
Since the incumbent has taken out local service, such as the residency of certificate, all I asked Ms. Hipona, what have you done for the people of Daly City in the last 4 years? In closing, let me thank the League of Women Voters, the Daly City Colma Chamber of Commerce, for giving me this opportunity to tell voters of Daly City about myself and why I should be your next city clerk. Thank you.
Thank you. These are the two candidates. On November 6th, you will be asked to vote for one of them. Thank you. We will now... We will now take a brief break and then reset for the City Council Forum. So we'll be back in just a few minutes. Thank you.
Thank you.